Welcome to the Low Carb Athlete Podcast, where we focus on discussing topics to help you burn fat, optimize health, and improve performance in life and sports. Transform the whole you from the inside out with the holistic method. Let's dive in. Here's your host, Debbie Potts.
Hey guys, it's Debbie, and have you used a CGM before? CGM is continuous glucose monitor, and there's different options out there. Ideally, you can get it from your doctor, but they seem to just want to wait until you're type 2 diabetic and not be preventative. I would like us to take ownership of our health and make choices now to prevent having high, low glucose readings and optimize your health from the inside out by testing and not guessing. And that includes a CGM that goes on for 14 days, and you can order one via NutriSense. And a CGM is giving you glucose updates with a small device in the back of your arm 24/7. Totally easy. I actually did a video on my YouTube channel, Low Carb Athlete, how to apply this CGM. First time, you're kind of scared, but it doesn't hurt. But it gives you real-time glucose readings. Glucose response to meals. You'll learn about what foods are reactive to you, and that could be a healthy food that you think is great, but it could raise your glucose. Simple things as stevia, for me, raise my glucose. Chewing gum, raise my glucose. Stress, when I'm driving a car and there's traffic, raises my glucose. Every stress response is a glucose response. So learn how to manage your stress. Learn how to pick right foods for you, unless you can, do other lab testing and figure out vibrant wellness food zoomers, but it's kind of expensive for people. So if you can wear a CGM, it's a great way to learn about stress, food, exercise, stacking movement with your nutrition. Figure out how to balance your blood sugar. So we want to learn more about how to exercise and eat or not eat. And morning cortisol, does it raise your glucose? If there's hidden stressors at nighttime, does your glucose go up higher while you're sleeping? So it gives us lots of clues that we can put in our investigation when we are working on your personalized fueling, training, and performance program to improve fat loss, performance, and longevity. So head to NutriSense website, nutrisense.io, how it works. You can learn more about your habits, your routines, your relationship to food, a little bit more. Great app to use, and it can sync on to different programs, so you can put it all together. So if you want to get started with your journey in NutriSense, I suggest this to all my clients. Use at least 30 days. So you can do a 30-day, 90-day, different programs, but you can pick which one you want. You get the sensor in the mail, put it on, lasts for 14 days, sync it to the app, and get your readings on there. And then if you're doing my VIP coaching program, I'm working with you to correlate this data together. So begin your health optimization journey with NutriSense, and you can save on your order with our code, as usual, Low Carb Athlete. So no carbs is not our goal, it's carb timing, and using NutriSense, you can help figure out your nutrient-dense whole food plan and when to adjust your macros based on your exercise intensity, duration, based on your life stressors, and learn more. So it's nice to have this data. So test and not guess with NutriSense. Let me know how you like it. Hey, it's Debbie, and I am going to talk a little bit more about how to fuel train, and perform your best by working on the whole you from the inside out. So the holistic method coaching program is 8 elements. Coaching with me or not, that's not the point. It's about giving you reminders and tips how to focus on nutrition, sleep, stress management, mobility, movement, digestion, gut health, hydration, and most importantly, almost as important as happiness. But notice, if you don't manage your stress and optimize your sleep, all these other elements are impacted. So if you are not sleeping well, you're probably stressed out. You can't sleep. Now, if you're stressed out, you probably don't eat the best or make the best choices, and you probably don't digest your food. And if you're stressed out, you probably have digestion issues, as we need to be in the parasympathetic nervous system state, rest and digest, to properly break down our food. Note, digest. And if we are in fight or flight, fight, freeze, sympathetic nervous system, we are not going to digest our food. So focus is on managing your stress, because that impacts your sleep, impacts your happiness, your mood, your energy, which will impact your exercise, your gut health, your immune system, your hormones, everything. So I focus on helping the whole individual by identifying external stressors and individual needs for help based on what we reveal in functional lab testing. Hidden internal stressors impacting hormone, immune system, detoxification, digestion, energy systems, and more. So why do I do what I do? Well, I used to compete in my age group, to be top in my age group in Ironman, marathons, cycling events. Endurance was my thing. Suddenly, I went from feeling my best shape in 2012, doing my best times in Ironman Canada, Honu half Ironman before that, marathon, and then Ironman Hawaii 2012, and 50K trail run. I was feeling fit, lean, strong, and fast. Fast forward a few months, I was burned out, broken from the inside out. I was gaining fat and losing muscle without changing anything. I was low carb. I was not eating processed food, vegetable oils. I was eating healthy fats, proteins, probably too little of carbs for my activity level. I was exercising a lot, probably too much, and experiencing fatigue in the afternoon and mood swings. I'd feel depressed, upset about what was happening to me, more so than really having depression, but it was more because I was gaining weight and I couldn't do what I loved to do and train with my friends and race and events. And I gained 30 pounds without doing anything different. So if you are that client that's similar to me, that avatar client of me that was doing all the right things, but struggled to get desired results, do you feel broken and burned out from the inside out? Do you feel like no one can help you and you're trying to get some answers, but the doctor says everything's normal, you just need some antidepressants? Maybe your labs are normal. You don't know why things are happening to you. That's what happened to me. And I didn't really improve after seeing multiple doctors, practitioners, acupuncturists, everything, 8 different people I tried to get help with, until I changed my way of living and actually moved from Seattle, Bellevue, Washington to North San Diego, closed my fitness studio. That was my major stressor in October 2018, moved to San Diego June 2020, and was able to slow down and change my life. But obviously not everyone can do what I did and just make drastic changes. So do you struggle with fatigue or depression, unexplained weight gain, even if you are doing more low carb? You're not eating processed foods. You're not eating high sugar foods, but maybe your blood sugar is still high and you're eating low carb. Those foods might be inflammatory, or stress might be overly active in your life. Do you have struggles with sleeping through the night and you're tired in the day, so your circadian rhythm is backwards? What I learned is more is not better. Too much of anything is toxic. Too little of anything can lead to deficiencies. Look at your genetics if you don't tolerate stress as well as others. You feel like, why me? Why is this happening to me and not other people? Chronic is never a good thing. And chronic fatigue, adrenal exhaustion, adrenal fatigue might not be adrenals, it's the HPA axis, but is it related to other issues or a collection of things as mitochondria dysfunction, microbiome, parasite, pathogen, overgrowth? Excuse me. So I always say more is not always better. Sometimes less is more. but the right amount is individual to you, your body, your genetics, your lifestyle. The Goldilocks effect. So if you're looking at the slides on my YouTube channel, Low Carb Athlete, you can see my pictures. The previous me, I was racing all the time. I was doing Ironmans since 2001, I was doing half Ironmans, often coached clients and brought them to Kona to do Honu half Ironman. I did trail running in the North Face 50K multiple times in December. That was my favorite. I took clients to Carlsbad, where I live half an hour away from now, to do the half and the full marathon. I did Lava Man Triathlon for years, helped with their race expo and seminars. And not anymore. I now coach people, and I haven't been racing because I had metabolic chaos in my life. Leaky gut, parasites, H. pylori. I have had probably brain fog and all sorts of things. Metabolic chaos. It's an imbalance of our hormones. Internal stressors are going crazy. So we have the hormones, the sex hormones, the bone turnover, cell energetics, your carb metabolism, insulin sensitivity, glucose issues. Everything's out of balance. So I call it the chronic stress cascade. As I said this in the previous podcast, distress of any kind contributes to loss of homeostasis, dysfunction, dis-ease, and eventually what we call in FDN by Reed Davis, metabolic chaos. If any of this is left untreated, more symptoms appear downstream. If you only treat the symptoms, this leads to more dysfunction, not function, more imbalance than balance. We need to look upstream. Symptoms may be far removed from stressors found upstream. So you might feel that you have different things going on, but if you don't address the why by investigating the whole you from the inside out, we really don't know. We're just guessing. So how does chronic stress impact the whole you? Your immune system can be depressed. Inflammation may be out of control and you have chronic low-grade inflammation in the body. This can disrupt your immune regulation, impair balance between the pro-inflammatory and anti-inflammatory processes. This can compromise immune defense mechanism, and this dysregulation can create an environment that favors growth and the survival of pathogens and parasites, which happened to me. Stress is on, immune system is depressed. If the immune system's depressed, your guards, your first line of defense, is broken. They're not working. Those guards are taking a long coffee break. They're not there to protect you. So these pathogens that we usually can fight off are entering our body. So suddenly I had blastohominus. I had Citrobacter. I had H. pylori. So remember, going back to my slides, chronic stress can suppress immune system activity. Cellular immune response. Stress hormones, as cortisol, can interfere with the production and function of immune cells, including your lymphocytes and natural killer cells, which play crucial roles in defending against pathogens and parasites. This suppression weakens the body's ability to mount an effective immune response and increase susceptibility to infections. So think of that as your Navy SEALs, the Marines, the Army. They are all off duty. So we are not protected because of chronic stress. We also get an altered gut microbiome. Chronic stress can impact the composition and diversity of the gut microbiota, the collection of microorganisms in the digestive tract. The gut microbiota plays a crucial role in the immune function, and disruption in its balance can weaken immune responses. Stress-induced alterations in the microbiota can lead to reduced production of antimicrobial substances and impaired gut barrier function. Which can be impaired is leaky gut. So this makes individuals, us chronically stressed people, more susceptible to infections by pathogens and parasites. So if you're an athlete, you are fit and healthy on the outside, maybe not the inside, think you're invincible, you think you're a superhero because you can do Ironman, you can do marathon, you're fast or strong. But if you're chronically stressed, You're getting weaker on the inside, as it happened to me. We might not see these red flags, and suddenly you feel like you just woke up one day and you feel like crap. You feel like you're a big pile of mush. It just didn't happen overnight. It happened over time, and we are driven, ambitious, high-performing individuals that we push through and continue on until we are broken and burned out and have no other choice but to sit on the sidelines and watch everyone else go by us. And maybe, like me, I had to stop on my bike ride once. When I figured this out, I could not pedal another stroke. I had no strength, I had no energy, and I was a mess emotionally, crying hysterically on the side of the road, to be honest. And for years, I've not been the same. Chronic stress can impair wound healing. Chronic stress can delay wound healing, which creates an opportunity for pathogens to invade and establish infections. Stress-induced changes in inflammatory responses, blood flow, and the production of growth factors can hinder normal healing processes, leaving wounds vulnerable to colonization by pathogens. Chronic stress impacts everything. Just because you work out doesn't mean you are protecting your microbiome. You're actually probably more susceptible than someone that doesn't exercise as much as you do. Chronic stress impacts unhealthy behaviors, lifestyle choices, perhaps, and increases the risk of exposure to pathogens and parasites. So if you are chronically stressed, you have poor sleep habits, you're not making the best choices on what you eat, when, why, and how, and where. You're not exercising the right amount for you. Maybe for us, we're usually exercising too much, but maybe you're doing too much hard exercise or too little of the wrong kind. This increased substance use, too much alcohol, this can all weaken the immune system, make you more susceptible to infections. On the slides, I added this picture from Dr. Jockers. Real Food Keto prioritizes food quality and aims to get food products that are rich in healing nutrients and low in environmental chemicals. The goal to get the benefits of nutritional ketosis while minimizing toxins and maximizing healing nutrients. So if you are trying to be in nutritional ketosis, I don't like the word keto. I like the word eat real food that balances your blood sugar and gives you the energy, and you're able to recover and repair from your workouts and get stronger. Now, real food to balance your blood sugar includes this picture here: grass-fed and organic animal products, healthy sources of fat, wild-caught seafood, low-carb veggies, fruits that are in season, and herbs. But you, as an athlete exercising more, usually can tolerate the starchy carbs, the safe starches. Timing them post-workout when you do an anaerobic, hard, intense workout, so you are replacing that muscle glycogen you depleted, and it's restocked for your next hard workout. Adding in the right herbs, try to grow them in your yard, fermented vegetables as Bubby's pickles, and what else do I like? That's about all the fermented veggies I like is the pickles, but sauerkraut is ideal. Raw nuts and seeds, a lot of people can't do because their gut is irritated, so nut butters might be better for you. And filtered water and natural sweetening agents. I would rather you do lemon, lime than having monk fruit, erythritol, stevia. I think people that are doing all the fake foods or the processed foods or the dirty keto, they're probably adding way too much sweetness, and you'll probably still struggle with addiction to sweet rather than training your body to crave bitter food and more animal-based diet. I work with clients on proper digestion and absorption. So no matter what you're eating on your real food, are you able to properly break it down into little pieces and absorb it to use it as fuel and help the body function better at optimal level? So when stress is on, you are not digesting your food properly, right? We're talking about that already. Sympathetic nervous system, fight, flight, or freeze, versus parasympathetic nervous system, rest, digest, and detox. If we are eating in a sympathetic nervous system, we are not getting the digestive enzymes released from our pancreas. We need the liver and gallbladder to release the bile to digest our fats. So 6 digest enzymes that are from Dr. Amy Meyer's website. Amylase breaks down carbs and starches into simple sugars. Lactase breaks down lactose into simple sugars, glucose and galactose. Lipase breaks down lipids into fatty acids and glycerol. Protase breaks down protein into amino acids. Maltase breaks down malt sugar into glucose. Sucrase breaks down sugar into glucose and fructose. Recognize the symptoms of stress. Know the effects of stress on your body so you don't wait until you're broken and burned out from the inside out and can't do anything, as I did 10 years ago now. Cortisol outputs in the body is that chronic stress, that leaky faucet. Do you turn on your stress, turn it off, acute stress, or do you have constant stress, that leaky faucet leading to chronic stress? The culprits from Nutrition with Judy, she has a great infographic, tons of great information on her website. Refined sugar, high processed food diet, obvious. Coffee, other stimulates, alcohol, emotional stress, poor sleep, nutritional deficiencies, poor gut health, disease, pathology. Those can be chronic stress culprits. How does chronic stress impact your digestion? Well, let's go into a little more. Increased sensitivity and motility. Chronic stress can affect the sensitivity of the GI tract, leading to heightened perception of pain and discomfort. It can also affect the motility of the digestive system, causing increased or decreased bowel movements. Some individuals may experience more frequent or urgent bowel movements as diarrhea, while others may experience slower bowel movements as constipation. Changes in appetite. Stress may disrupt normal appetite regulation, leading to changes in eating patterns. Some people may experience increased appetite and overeating. And then there's others who prefer high calorie and comfort foods to deal with stress. Then the people that have decreased appetite when they're stressed may have weight loss. And that's not always great because that can be connected to inadequate nutrient intake. Big one here, altered stomach acid secretion, which I went into a lot on research, and I put it into a blog on my website, wpotts.net. Stress can influence production of stomach acid. Some individuals may experience increased acid production, which can lead to acid reflux, heartburn, stomach ulcers, and others may have reduced acid production, affecting digestion and nutrient absorption. So remember, your digestion starts north to south, starting with your salivary glands, releasing amylase. And then your food goes in your esophagus, through the sphincters, blocking the intestines from north of the small intestine and the stomach to the small intestine to the large intestine. We've got hydrochloric acid in your stomach that's supposed to help break your protein down. Protase is the enzyme to help break down protein. And then your food moves into your small intestine. The pancreas is to release protase, lipase, and amylase. Your liver is to release bile. Gallbladder is storing the bile. Your small intestine releases peptase, sucrase, maltase, and lactase enzymes. Large intestine is where excess water is absorbed. And then we have our drainage pathways, kidneys through urine, and our large intestine into the rectum to eliminate our bowels, pooping, right? So if you don't have proper drainage pathways, peeing, pooping, sweating, respiratory system, we don't eliminate those toxins. Other part, liver detox, another show. Chronic stress on your digestion. As we learn in nutritional therapy, we start with the foundations first, nutrient-dense, properly prepared, whole foods diet. We work on balancing your minerals, dietary fats, blood sugar, digestion, and hydration. But if you have chronic stress, you have impaired nutrient absorption, I'm sure. Chronic stress can affect functioning of small intestine, potentially compromising nutrient absorption. This can lead to deficiencies in essential vitamins, minerals, and other nutrients, even if you are eating a real food diet plan. You could have disruption of the gut microbiota, as I already said. This is a community of microbiomes in our digestive tract that plays a crucial role in digestion and overall health. If we are chronically stressed, this disrupts the balance of the microbiome, potentially leading to digestive issues, inflammation, and immune dysregulation, as we talked about earlier. Increased inflammation, as we talked about, stress triggers the release of pro-inflammatory substances in the body. Chronic inflammation in the GI tract can contribute to conditions of IBS, inflammatory bowel disease, is IBD, and other digestive disorders. And then there's functional gastrointestinal disorders. Chronic stress can contribute to development of functional GI issues as IBS, as I said. These are characterized by recurring digestive symptoms, abdominal pain, bloating, altered bowel habits, in the absence of identifiable structure or biochemical abnormalities. I've had a lot of clients with Crohn's, colitis, and celiac that did not know they had it. So really looking at getting the right functional lab tests, working with your doctor to get an endoscopy. So looking at a reduced stress with nutritional therapy, I talk about with clients ginseng, rhodiola, holy basil, ashwagandha, mushrooms as reishi, and cordyceps can help reduce stress. As I said, focus on your liver health. Often I do this first with clients. Is your liver congested? Let's do your nutritional therapy assessment to find those symptoms related to dysfunction in detox 1 and detox 2 pathways. And if you have congestion in your drainage pathways, we want to for sure start with stage 3 or detox phase 3 before we start with improving phase 1 and 2 and doing a detox. Excess toxins get stored in fat cells, bone marrow, liver, brain, joints, blood, tissues, and muscles. So we need to correlate, again, side effects and signs of toxicity. If you have acne, skin rashes, allergies, arthritis, joint pain, autoimmune issues, cardiovascular disease, chronic fatigue, as we're talking about chronic stress, constipation, diabetes, diarrhea, blah, 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 goes on. Sign of toxicity. So that chronic stress can be related to your liver. So we want to support the HPA system. We want to support your liver, your digestion, and your gut health. So it's not just one thing, because fat-soluble toxins go through phase 1 detox. The nutrients needed, B vitamins, B2, 3, 6, and B12, folate, not folic acid, folate, glutathione, and then we go into phase 2 and then get those toxins from fat-soluble processed into water-soluble. So I was thinking the wash cycle, the rinse cycle, and the drainage cycle, eliminating urine, via urine, bile, and stool. Nutrients needed in phase 2, by the way, are methionine, cysteine, magnesium, glutathione, again, why we all need glutathione, vitamins B5, B12, which is why we all need B vitamins, vitamin C, and this gets depleted in stress, glycine, what we talked about glycine before bed, and glycine for bone broth, taurine, glutamine, folate, and choline. Fasted or fed exercise, this could be a chronic stress issue for you, is why I added this slide in. If you're exercising fasted, doing a high intensity workout, and you didn't eat 12 hours before, 15 hours before, maybe you are adding more stress to your body. Your muscle glycogen storage should be topped off if you're doing more anaerobic. If you're doing a shorter workout or zone 2, workout zone 1, you can do fasted. If you ate 12, 15 hours before, you might need something in your coffee. I like to add MCT oil from Bubs, naturals, and collagen sometimes, or just some heavy cream. So depends on the workout duration and intensity and the time of day and the focus. So you can check that out. It's a great chart from Precision Nutrition. So if you're doing a shorter workout, low heart rates, fat oxidation. If you're doing a little more intensity, you want to look at timing in some carbs and protein, depending on the workout and the individual and gender. Essential amino acids. Are you getting your protein broken down? If you are chronically stressed, you're probably not digesting your food. So sometimes if clients have high levels of H. pylori and poor digestion, they're eating a high protein animal-based diet, but they're not getting their amino acids because of digestion dysfunction, because of chronic stress and low enzymes. Supplementing might be beneficial until we fix everything. So essential amino acids. Here is the infographic from Dr. Amy Myers. What foods have which amino acids in them? Obviously more animal-based. So stress management tips, go into next time. The beautiful journey of today can only begin when we learn to let go of yesterday. Quote coming from Steve Maraboli on how to think positive. One of my mantras is positive attitude, positive energy, positive vibes. So if I feel positive, think positively, I share that with others. It's contagious. It works. It helps you be more positive and happier person. So that is all for today. Let's go into stress management tips on our next segment and check out the holistic method. More information on there on debbiepotts.net to learn more, and you can figure out how to get lab testing done. All right. Thank you for listening.
Thanks for listening to the Low Carb Athlete Podcast. If you have any questions, feedback, or topic suggestions, let us know on Facebook or at debbiepotts.net. You can help us to continue to grow by leaving a review on iTunes. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.